Hi, I'm Ilanta here, and today I would like to talk about home remedies for like everyday ailments. And we all have like our bumps and burns and headaches and earaches and what have you, that it's not really needed that we go to the doctor or to the hospital. And it's also not really needed that we use like drugs, remedies, like strong remedies. Many times we just have at home what it's needed to provide some relief or heal the little problem. This is of course just for small problems. It doesn't substitute medical care, medical advice. So obviously I am not qualified to give you any treatments. These are just some simple suggestions to what? to help you in case we have these everyday problems that we all have. And so I think I'm qualified to talk about it because I've had lots and lots and lots of little problems along the years, and I researched a lot about this, and I also have experienced myself, and in that way I helped many people, including myself, my friends, and the people that I've worked with. And I find it very difficult. I find it always very frustrating to go up, imagine that I have something and then I don't know what to do with it, and then I go online and the amount of information is overwhelming, and many times doesn't make any sense, or then they're contradictory. I've found many times very frustrating, so I've then decided to don't rely so much on internet information, but rather the old books about herbalism and books on homeopathy and essential oils. They are reliable in my understanding. Also my own experimentation and what I hear from people that I know and that are knowledgeable about these things. So this is in no way an extensive list of suggestions for things. There are like lots and lots and lots of ideas. These are the ones that I know that work for me, and they are mostly homeopathic and essential oils. One very gentle and subtle homeopathy, and then one much stronger essential oils. Essential oils are almost like medicine, isn't it? They are very concentrated and very strong and powerful. So I use both, and I'll explain how I use them. So my first suggestion would be for pains like Whiplash, or pains. Sorry, I was distracted. Somebody entered the house. So when you bump into something, when you twist your ankle, when you just like hurt your muscles and ligaments and tendons and all these things, small things obviously. So what I find extremely useful, and I actually couldn't live without, is arnica. Arnica is an homeopathic remedy, and it can also be found as an essential oil actually nowadays, but homeopathy is really useful, and you can take it either internally or rub the arnica tincture on the affected area. I use this a lot because I have an injury, like a permanent injury in my shoulder and arm and shoulder blade, and whenever I do certain movements I hurt myself. So I hurt myself once, twice a week sometimes. Actually yesterday I hurt myself quite strongly, and I've been putting arnicas ever since, and I just am much better, although I'm still in pain because this was a very, very strong injury. But for small injuries, this works like a charm. Like in 5 minutes, the pain is gone, and it's really useful. The other thing is hypericum, also homeopathic, which is St. John's wort, also known as St. John's wort. And this you can find in a pharmacy and have it at home. It's really, really useful. Or you have a kit, like I have kits, homeopathic kits, like this, which this one is for travel, this one is not for travel. And this is really useful because it has, I don't know how many, like 30, 40, 60, 36 homeopathic remedies, and a little booklet that explains what to use, and in each case, like sore throats, diarrhea, bruises, burns, broken bones, of course, before going to the hospital, breastfeeding difficulties, labor pains, nosebleeds, so many things. I mean, this is created by homeopathic doctors, and I find it extremely helpful. I've been using it for like 15 years, and it's just saved me from so many pains and worries and anxieties and etc. You can find it online. I think you can buy it online. And a bird. And so that is extremely good. Arnica, St. John's wort, which in homeopathic terms is called hypericum, and CBD. So I take internally and I rub it in the area. It's incredible. Another thing that happens sometimes, frequently, is burns, small burns while we're cooking or something. And a very easy way to, if it's not like a traumatic burn, a difficult burn, just something small, you put your affected area, like say the hand, under cold running water for some time, and the pain is gone. Or you immerse your hand in a bowl of cold water. It needs to be cold water, and it's the same. If you don't want to do that, you can use lavender essential oil, either diluted or undiluted. I keep at hand an essential oil, lavender, in one in the toilet and one in the kitchen, and it's always at hand. Diluted. I prefer diluted. And so that's also very helpful. If it's a little bit bigger and like a stronger burn, I've never used that, milk also is very useful, and egg white especially. I've heard from trusted sources. I'm not just like browsing online. I've heard from trusted sources, that's why I'm sharing that milk and egg white is very useful. The milk I've experienced firsthand last year. I had a burn, but not a normal burn, a burn from essential oil. I don't know exactly what happened. Essential oils can be a little bit dangerous. I was playing with essential oils, and I was creating my own cosmetics, and I do that frequently, and I don't really know what happened. I don't know what happened, but I had essential oils in my hands, and I rubbed my eyes, and I was red, like really red and swollen in my eyes and around the skin around my eyes. I was rather scared, and what I used and what really helped, I even called the hospital because I didn't know what to do, but I didn't want to go to the hospital. But here in Switzerland you can call them, or the insurance, and they didn't suggest anything. They didn't know what to do, and in the meantime I was using milk. I don't have milk at home normally because I don't consume milk, but for some interesting coincidence, I had frozen milk in the freezer, and I've asked my friend that was there with me to defrost it, and I put it constantly on my skin and on my eye, not inside the eye but on my eye, and after 2 hours it was gone. Essential oils in your eyes is really dangerous in my understanding, depending on the essential oil as well. I must have been playing with like lemon or something that really was, it really hurt. So that was extremely helpful. Yogurt would also help, I suppose. Yeah, it would, not to put in the eye, but on the skin. I know that yogurt also helps. So for people that have milk at home, I think that is very, very useful. And another thing that happens frequently is indigestion. Indigestion, either you go to a restaurant and you eat something, or at home. And what I do is that if I don't digest things well, if my tummy aches, I immediately take enzymes, digestive enzymes, and that helps quite a lot. Or I use another very important remedy for me, homeopathic remedy. It's called Nux vomica. It really, really helps for any kind of digestive problems, sickness, hangovers, which is something that I haven't experienced in many, many years, but I know it works for that. When you've eaten excessive fatty foods, all of that, Nux vomica, you're a bit sick in your head, you know it's from your liver, and it really helps, Nux vomica. It's another one to keep at home. Or on the other hand, on the other side of the spectrum of strength of remedy is the essential oils, which then you could use any of the digestive herbs. I prefer fennel. I don't take, nowadays I don't take essential oils internally very frequently, but I do in the case that I'm very, very sick. So, and I put in a drop, one drop in honey, and I take it internally. Either fennel or a blend that I have with different digestive herbs and bitter herbs. So that's Nux vomica and essential oils in honey. And the other very important thing is bitters. In many countries, especially in Central Europe, we have these elixirs called Swedish bitters, but they're not really Swedish. But bitter is a liquid that's bitter, and then you ingest it, and it really helps digestion. When on the other hand is like a poisoning, like if you eat something in a restaurant that's poison, not poison as in like deadly poison, but bad fish or bad meat or bad anything, a lifesaver is, or if you're allergic, like once I gave it to a person that was allergic, like really allergic to something, and I gave them charcoal capsules, and the person was good. It really is like an instant thing. It like absorbs, binds to the poison, and expels it from your system. It's just incredible. Charcoal is something that I always have at home. Charcoal. C'est français. This one is French. And it's incredible. So that I take when I know that I've eaten something bad. And now it's a long video because there's lots of things to talk about. Just want to talk about motion sickness. This is nothing that I experienced since I was a young child, because I was given milk in my I've never digested milk, so I was given milk on my morning travel to school, and on my way back from school. I think it was on my way back from school to home, and I was given milk, and I was almost vomiting every single day. But milk was considered important at that time, so yeah, I had to drink it, and I was sick all the time. Since then, I'm always sick in certain situations, in a car or in a boat, on a boat. So I found, again, an homeopathic remedy that's called Cocculus, Cocculus, that's extremely good for motion sickness. Other ideas are ginger and peppermint, which can be taken. They even sell it in the airports, I suppose. I mean, I've seen it in the airports. Ginger drops and peppermint drops. Peppermint, for me, doesn't work so much. Peppermint's a very strong essential oil, and I'm very sensitive to peppermint. Sometimes doesn't work, but ginger works and cockroach works beautifully. So the last one that I'm going to talk about today is toothache. I mean, I think most of us know about this one. Cloves, the spice clove, is very, very useful for toothaches while you wait to go to the dentist. And if you chew on, like, say, 6 clove heads, you will there will be a lot of relief from toothaches. Or if you don't have the cloves at home and you have the essential oil, you mix the essential oil in another oil, like olive oil, and you rub it on your gums and on your tooth, and this will alleviate your pain quite a bit. And that's what the dentists use, a chemicalized form of cloves anyway. They use it with dental work. And well, that's it. There's a lot more to talk about, and but it's a long video already, so I think I will stop now, and there will be another video here, part 2, because I think it's a topic that it's important to talk about. Bye bye. Thanks for listening, and I hope this is helpful.